you are a woman who is arrested for domestic violence, there are 3 things that you need to do as soon as you get out of jail. My name is Veronica. I'm a criminal defense attorney here in California, and I help people who have been arrested put their criminal cases behind them so that they can enjoy their lives and their freedom. And again, in this video, I'm going to be explaining, if you are a woman who was arrested for domestic violence, the 3 things that you need to be doing right now. Okay, the first thing that you need to do as soon as you get out of jail, or if you got a citation, as soon as the cops leave, is if you have any injuries on you at all from whatever took place, you need to document those. Make sure that you take your own photographs of any injuries that you have. If you need medical attention, make sure to go and get it right away. Even if it's simply going to an urgent care rather than waiting for a doctor's appointment or going to the hospital, the more documentation that you can get of your own injuries, the better. Because here's how this works. Very likely, part of your defense, if not your entire defense, is going to be that you are in fact the person who was abused and that the other party was the abuser. So as much evidence as you can use to document that, the better chance you have of being able to convince the prosecution or a judge, depending on the situation and how the case unfolds, that you in fact were the abused party. The second thing that you need to make sure to do right away is start gathering character letters from family, friends, it can be employers, school. If you have any friends who have ever witnessed you being abused or who you called and said, I'm really scared right now, he hit me, anything like that that you can gather, make sure to do that right now. The sooner that you do that, the better. Something else that you're going to want to start gathering is if there were any prior times that you were abused and you did seek medical attention or you did take photographs of your injuries, start getting all of that together. And the reason why I'm saying that you need to do all of this right away is because when you get arrested and you get a court date that's maybe a few weeks or a few months out, how it works is that the police arrested you, right? And most people think, okay, there are charges against me. Maybe I'm facing felony domestic violence charges. Maybe it's misdemeanor, but I have these charges against me. But that's actually not true. How it works is that the police send their police report over to the DA, and the DA still has to look at the police report and anything else in their file and decide, do I want to file this case or not? Now, if you were arrested for domestic violence, you probably know now that many times the police will make the arrest first and then ask questions later. And as unfair as that is in many cases, what this means is that you have an opportunity to get an attorney to talk to the DA before court and potentially persuade them not to file charges against you. And number 3 on this list of things you need to do right away after you get arrested before your first court date is get an attorney. Don't wait until court to see what happens and then hire an attorney. By then it's too late. By then, if they file charges against you, it's going to be very difficult to get those dismissed. But if you have an attorney, contact the DA's office before the first court date and give them a letter explaining your side of the story, coming from them, not from you, so that if there are any discrepancies between what is in the letter and what is in the police report, that can't be used against you later, with your character letters, and if you have photos of injuries, if there were prior incidents where you were injured by the other party in this case, then submitting all of that and explaining your side of the story to try to persuade them to drop the charges. Now, if you're a woman who is charged with domestic violence, contacting the DA before the first court date is all the more important because you have a decent chance of getting the charges dropped before court. Now, I have men who hire me all the time to try to get their charges dismissed or reduced before court, and many times, especially if they have no prior criminal history, if there were no bad injuries in the case, if they can get strong character letters, many times we are successful there. But for women, it is much easier to get these cases dismissed or dropped before. So the biggest mistake that you can make is not hiring an attorney before court, or hiring one but not having them actually talk to the DA and explain your side of the story before. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe, like, ring the bell, and if you do have a criminal case in California that you need help with, feel free to book a consultation with me. You can find a link to do that down below, and you can also find my phone number there.